some of the honorables in the urban, share much of a fair.
Thank you. Good. Yes, sir.
That 2000, that's pretty much.
Yeah, bro. How are you? Yeah, bro. How are you? Everything good? Yeah. Oh, bro. What happened? No problem.
Honorable Safu. Good morning.
What's up? This way, please. Okay.
I'll come by for longer.
Okay.
I know you don't have time.
Okay.
So
You have my contact.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, honorable Ursula Owusu. Come on.
What's going on?
We shall talk longer later.
That's honorable Ursula Owusu arrested. Side board. NAPO.
Come and do government business. Just do government business.
So what would you say, I mean, after this whole outcome of the election? What would you say about
Ghanaians have spoken, and we should listen to them.
it? Is there any more you're expecting from, I mean, the sitting today and going forward?
I'm not in charge of the agenda. Those who are the business managers would agree on the agenda, and those of us who are members of parliament would do accordingly.
Are you expecting all your colleagues to be present for business to begin?
It's my expectation that parliamentarians will do their work. Maybe there might be a colleague here who is on the parliamentary business outside the chamber. I cannot be here. But I'm expecting all parliamentarians to do their work.
Sir.
Also be Memo Mafro. Memo better Afro. Why? Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Miss Wamba, fair, Oceana.
Big man says.
Not today. Not today. In your own time. I'll call. Thank you.
Paparazzi.
Presido, now that bomb.
Hey, Presido. 2045. Presido 2045. I don't know. Oh, Canada, Japan can't do Grana Montieno. Not Baumientieno. Now, can okay.
Okay, honorable Honorable, I say. Honorable. Honorable Kennedy, Japan, a compreko, Japona, was only the Onkasa, was all Ghana found Trabama. To me, say honorable, worry, honorable, but Kennedy don't wear. Kennedy don't wear, honorable young wear. Honorable say, Onkasa, I say Ghana for the, I say Musha and Pena 70, and tomorrow Trabama. John the Onkasa, until she honorable, and him chair, ocean and him the answer. In Ninja, they been in issue to show number for far away now.
Mr. Speaker, and we expect that today, as tempers are lower, he will give clarity on those. We always said that we had outstanding business that needed to be completed.
Right.
We are hopeful that today he would ensure that that outstanding business is put on the table so that we can do it on behalf of the people of Ghana.
I know you are yet to see the order paper for today, but do you already have certain issues you are looking at addressing today in the House?
You recall that when the initial recall was triggered, we listed a number of things that we wanted to handle. Those are the issues that we're expecting to see on the order paper today.
Right. Can you just give us just a couple of
It will be
things?
the same issues on the order.
The business of the House for today, the phrase is just a lot of this expected to be discussed. Are you confident on this?
This is a lame duck president and a lame duck parliament. The life of this parliament is almost gone and over. I think we should focus on the 9th parliament. For me, the most important item that if parliament should be considering is expenditure in lieu of appropriation, nothing more. We should preoccupy ourselves in accordance with Article 179 of the Public Financial Management Act. What is it that we can keep government running? And then wheels of policies and programs that reflects his budget statement.
Honorable, because I because I did what kind of best now for getting us.
Charlie, my journalist friend. Congratulations. You are doing very well. Did we pay that? Yeah. So far. Congrats. We need to talk. Not now. About what? We need to crack bones. We have a bone to pick after dinner. You have bone. Yeah. Nobody has any bone. My mother said that I shouldn't make me any. So this is a friendship. No, it's a friendly matter going to play. Yes, I can. We just came from Egypt, so we are not. Oh, great. Me and publicity. Okay. Boss, how are you? Good, sir. Charlie, how are you? See that? Hey, sir, is done.
My leader, sir. Congrats.
Good one. Thanks. Thank you, leader.
You know, Mami Musa, yeah, to a baby, and I hear your points to me, and you want to
I think that one of the key things that Ghana for the next NDC are buying is the recovery of loots and prosecution of Nkofua women we are buying Sika. I think that this election wasn't just about a vote on Bawumia per se. It was a vote on Akufo-Addo ni Bawumia ni na mama mo katashishe proye kind dreamer ekoso are buying mo. And Ghana for say NDC are buying John Mama buying ebe mono will not come and continue business as usual. Oh, one year now for my Debbie. Ghana for a ye woman ni and you see in the Sokoko Eddie a buying say Corona Ecoso were buying mono and your mode. And as I say, Yenso as a buyer, I want di 2 mina mayeng no, you be making sure say one more idea at Ghana for Akumaso. The recovery of loot, prosecution of people who have deprived the people of development. Koso na ade baako a ehia ewo aban ne mu eye ahombrase obi biara amahama be pound no a obema no akwanya ewo aban ne mu no ese yesua ahombrase ese anse wo hwe John Mahama ankasa no owo ahombrase wo nipa ho tima. And your pause, we are minister, we are CEO, who akwenya wa buying them more. I said, we bring who I say. And yan Ghana for Huntima, essence Ghana for until I own answer to me. And a Adibako, I say, yes, yeah. Now, Yantie Ghana for no. And I may believe it Adibako, a Damakuma so for a buying say, a buying Minya kwenya say metu omampanyin Jomahamafoa meka say ye Ministry of Information and Public Engagement. Ministry and not just for information, but ministry any omanfo no benya nkitahundie at least on a weekly and monthly basis. Because for year ekoso aban no it took 8 years. 8 years afi ngwotwe and asa katahihye any kankan na koso. To me sisa bibia in one month. And you need to carry the people along. Et ma omo say busumi way nyaya nie the steps we've taken nie timelines are ebe taking na ye de be hu nyama ebe bano. Like when you implement a policy, it will take time for you to see the effect. But in between the time, they say, oh man, policy way over the next 6 months, you expect to say. And in between the 6 months, though, you need to carry the country along. And the economic reform say, carry the country along. Because I think the extent of the damage to your economy, you need to address the country. My say this is the level of we are when you put in a new policy. Renegotiation with the IMF. What does it mean for the young people of Ghana? I say Ejuma 4. What does it mean for them? Forex, the situation at the Bank of Ghana. You need to do sector by sector. Ghana for NTS. When you do that, you can carry the people along.
My number does it put any task on you, burden on you? Say what some perform will deliver?
Definitely. I mean, the Ghana for to me Mausa. Overwhelming super majority. I already see NPP to microcredit finance there. Here say again, ahombrasie. Here say ebe bre ho ase. Na ya jere ho eye adwuma ebe so Ghana for any. The majority in parliament is for us to serve the people of Ghana. Listen to the desires of the Ghanaian people. Nyama on pese yen sano na yen sama on. Nyama on pese yen Ghana for do say woman pay e-levy. They say you free. In the first budget, they say you free. Woman say woman pay bed tax. They say you free. Woman say woman pay corporate levy. I say you free. Because anything I want my to me. Look, the Ghanaian people don't joke with them. Woman NPP, a very solid majority of 169. Woman say NPP for 5 years Jumaye. Then the next one my split parliament 137 say you just say I know subeko. See, I want my overwhelming majority 188. I say
yes, is 4 seats or no ankasa onyanjin to muye. Mama come position you clear say legally it was wrong. Say ombetimi akasa ye parliamentary dey fit that constituency. Akako declare a different constituency. My position no because some will definitely go against your members of parliament that have been elected.
No, there's no member of parliament on the NDC side who's been elected. You declare another constituency. None. I mean,
some says yes, under duress.
Why they can't say you're under duress? Nobody has stated. I mean, can't say sure. I was physically present at the declaration of Okaikwe Central. Right, Mr. Degeno, our returning officer. And then in a court table so. Now I soon because it was getting dark. Yes, saw your lights, man. So I went to my Juma. He stood there and declared his results. Offrey Hono, he went and sat there and did the declaration rates. Said Obi under duress. You watch the videos. Obi did what share to I mean, Techiman South card, 1 year declaration 4 years, Abra soldiers a kunko for. And crapo ECG to mo. The year demonstration that Haruna Idris to echo ECC say your problem I am court.
In terms of court.
Oh. Ablekuma North, a Rabina Oben. Yes, shall see on Monday. Yambi electoral officer and returning officer Mr. Opong Okofi Eko die. Tuesday, or some fool on one Kasanika. Esam buy ebe twa adwuma no so to declare Rabina Obe obi a owo under duress otumiko fie ekoda esign chibra say obey declaration. The EC some 30 any woman mo EC a one person be woman share NPP atade a wo ye NPP adwuma no omo njai enye adwuma so obi wo problem mra no ye clear on court. EC need to me to annul a declaration of a returning officer. What money start to me no. Thank you.
Who will consider other constituencies now?
Party Juma na me party Sumafo. Greater Accra, election where I worked in 30 constituencies across the
beyond Greater Accra.
Beyond Greater Accra.
Outside.
I worked in the Bunu East, Bunu region. I worked in Western. I worked in Central. I worked in the Eastern.
Your party did not intimidate or put anybody under duress via
Menua Bema. So Obi Bo Wasuma. Unua we never beka say Yabo Wasuma. Nya una beka say Yabo Wasuma. Adena Samuel Teteni Jimens and Boss Mansari. Womu num panado ma obi a osiniti yene ya. The people who did the declaration are not saying they are under duress. So why is Samuel Tete saying that they were under duress? And then the rest of your job will be mumaso.
Honorable, that's it. Complaining, fit Tamamoto and about any
amamo bonintia. Mammy Church Moment Casabe, a Yamamo bonintia. As son said, Parliament had 2019 and a year approving £96 million sterling loan facility free UK Barclays Bank. I had Bayer Saquine from Tema Interchange, Ecopim Central University, and 10 lanes, 4 interchanges. What I say, project no shall in 2022. After 2019, I approved facility. No, yes, shall see now and Ghana Echo IMF. And to be say, not BHM, anyone local contractor, first sky, yeah, Juma giddy, because Canada. You call IMF default and IMF freezy BBR. As I say, buying a deal, Amamo Pony, woman discanning now. And the IMF say, almost £96 million now. Said, and the IMF air train say, I'm buying for Beba. Now, many are buying for Nasi at the Hong Kong to release the money. And that's why John Mahama is leading negotiations now, renegotiations of the IMF program. What GDA say, we will get a release from the IMF to be able to access the rest of the money. That project needs to be completed in 18 months. And I believe in the next 18 months, I
didn't hear that.
One today.
Was it 18 months?
At the wax, Chairman, I see you have wax in your ears. Earphones were washing. But near woman said the project lifespan contract now on the Parliament for loan, 18 months contract. So I'm sure once the IMF clears it for us to proceed within 18 months, they should complete because that's the tenure of the project.
Great.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay, Honorable Sam George, Sam Jata George, no, Waka, yes, I'm sorry. Okay, I check on a phone and say, need some media on Fine Diago, the Waka, no Waka, and explain, please.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Honorable. And you will. No, I have no. Right, so Honorable, we see that in the 9th Parliament, a lot of your colleagues will not be coming back. You will not be in the House as well. I don't know what to make of all this, considering the experienced people who are no longer coming back.
Well, first of all, we thank God for how far He has brought Ghana, and we also thank Ghanaians and all the actors, the stakeholders, in ensuring that indeed democracy continues to deepen and, for that matter, thrive in this country. Yes, of course, we are coming to Parliament with the NDCs having almost about 2/3 majority, and it's not everybody that is new, but again, the professor was once and +1 before he or she became a professor. So yes, there are quite some new ones who are coming to Parliament on the side of now you can say minority, but I believe that those of us who are out or outgoing will be there to lend a helping hand to them. And don't forget, we used to have the famous 67 many years ago when the president then was an MP. So it's about a very good parliamentary group, not necessarily making in the plenary, their voices may not be heard, but it's about putting government on its toes to make sure that indeed they go by what they have said, the promises that they've made, and all the policies that they are likely to, for that matter, introduce. So it's not an all debt end of the road, but rather I think this is a fine opportunity for our MPs to try and do their best.
Right. Now, how shocking do you find the numbers, what the NDC got, what MPP got?
Oh, I don't think that we will have to do some politics with it. They have won and it's decisive, that's it. I mean, you go to an elections, it's like going to state lotto, you win or you lose. In every circumstances, you have to thank God that you've won or you've lost. But it's a matter of going back to do your reorganization, do your reforms, and then come back stronger.
Thank you, sir.
Are you coming back in 2028?
Oh, we are not even, Parliament is not even dissolved yet, so I think that question is too premature if you ask me. Yes. Thank you very much. Well, I'm sure you know today's date. How do we start retrospection today? It's a period, it's a process. We'll go through it sometime.
And more call minority and majority.
Sir, me the kind of catch you say. This election we are going a very decisive.
My very good brother. Can say very decisive.
Well, first of all, Ghana is still peaceful. That's one of the most important things. That's what the Ghanaian people say the NDC for so another chance to govern. Let's see how it's going to be.
When we brother, more we are home.
Because maybe poto.
And no marry poto. And then they will okay some become minorities.
Oh, now we say me tuning yet too deep. Okraman near okra bone. We say we wo biom. We could don't pay we will be. Because Ghanaians overwhelming mandate and yet just presidential since you started fourth republic. Manpenyi bianya mandate to say His Excellency President Mama. Say ya quality manos 9 your friend say 9 constituencies. After they have the full figure. President Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia NPP Flabedan. The final percentage, 40% crapo, 39%. Go and see. Never in the annals of our country's history.
I don't wait.
Yes, sir. Because we are Juma Funu. We are Baye Juma Papa. Because number one, we compare record. We compare President Mahama record to Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia record for 8 years. And Nana Akufo-Addo they did a shambolic job. Okay, maybe to macroeconomic indices. President Mama was sorry on 7th January 2017. Inflation year is 15%. Nana Akufo-Addo Dr. Bawumia at a point, almost inflation rate of 54.2%.
They say Ghana for
Miba CD there Nana Akufo-Addo can say Okofa or the Dr. Bawumia from the Bank of Ghana to stabilize the city. No, CD no aya hata. CD no aya hata. Under his watch, CD echo 1 to 17 CDs and over. Under Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia watch. Okay? Food index. Bisobia uko joma koto tomatoes ana jene ana disin. The next time ukwa sura na eko. Over 85% apart from the inflation that is galloping. The debt aka President Mahama office on the 7th of January 2017. The total indebtedness yakanyina from independence to President Mahama 120 billion. Nana Akufo-Addo just September last year equal to 876 billion. Omukwa 760 something billion. So
Ghana for their mama. Say Ghana for her dear
Masa, until I can say Nina committed said, I don't know Omo campaign say he was sitting to Ababa. Because Omo Ghana sitting useless to majority of Ghanaians. And me trahaka and yes MPP win elections Chrono no mubo all the time. Chrono all the time. I'm telling you, she Obi Kacha say Ashanti region Omo to Aba Obwa. Omo to Aba. What they used to do in Ashanti region is say you have stuffy ballot boxes. You the thumb printed ballot boxes in Ashanti region and parade them as votes into the 1.2 million votes when who said and ma Ashanti region. Chrono now upon this time is so vigilant that the ballot boxes could not come out. So this time Omwasa they can never do that again in the history of our country because once Yahu security they will never come back to power.
Yes, you jam a back.
Oh, Massa, say we say a diabua, won't that so cast roof near that. Yeah, oh, Joma, better man answer the final.
I was there.
So Nipania, which is a jom market. Or who Joma, who best be said in final announcement, and Yabu. Because of Beati.
Honorable, and this will be a word
you see, I said it before that when a lion is found of patronizing the market, they will treat it like a puppy. You see, the NPP, because of power the Ghanaian people gave to them, they so abuse the power that Ghanaians will put them at their proper place. If an elder is found of patronizing the play of children, he will carry their drum. So today, it's very out there that the mandate that was given the NPP and that was so grossly abused, today they will be concerned to the opposition for many years. Because Ghanaians had indicated, when Ghanaians were complaining life is hard, they are trampling on their rights, they are seizing their lands, they are polluting our rivers, our lands are being desecrated. Litany of complaint, corruption is very high. Nana Akufo-Addo said to hell, he didn't mind Ghanaians. He said they can do whatever they choose. And today, it is coming. That's what I'm saying. If you sell yourself for halfpenny, they'll buy you for nothing. And today, the evidence is out there that Ghanaians were just waiting for the day. They were waiting for only December 7th to teach the NPP a lesson. And I want you to send this message out clear. If there's any clear thing that this election has revealed to us, it has revealed to us that NPP was actually not winning elections, especially from 2016. They were stealing the mandate of the people through the filling of ballot boxes and bringing them out. We managed to hold them in Ashanti this time. The ballot boxes couldn't come out. So you see, when they're making the cry that 1.2 million or so Ashanti people didn't vote, it's not true. The people in Ashanti region voted. They voted in the numbers they were supposed to vote. But the ballot boxes that they stuffed couldn't come out. That explains why that you see that huge gulf. And so that's why I'm telling you that once we have gotten that secret out, they can never do that thing again to win elections.
I mean, after a lesson learned by the party, by the NDC party, what proverb would you describe? What proverb would you give to, an advice to the NDC?
No, as for us, we have always been aware that if you don't know death, look at sleep. What Ghanaians have done to the NPP tells us that if you are a government and you come and you are arrogant, you are power drunk, you are corrupt, you are impervious to advice, you are insensitive to the plight of the people. When they are crying and they are telling you that things are hard for us, you tell them they can go to hell. Any government that comes and treats the people with contempt, they will teach you that lesson. Fortunately for us, President Mahama is a very humble person. He's not as haughty and capricious as Nana Akufo-Addo, who thinks that, in fact, at a point he thought he was almost God, saying that he will never hand over power to anybody, as if the power was his personal property. I'm sure you heard that. You heard him saying he won't hand over power to Mahama, as if the power he was holding was his personal property and he can pick and choose who he wanted to hand over to. Today, who is he handing over to?
After a very long
So if you say that there's no gravity, jump and let's see whether you suspend. Today, the laws of gravity have brought Nana Akufo-Addo down. You know, when President Mahama came out as president-elect to meet him, you know one of the first things he said? He said, oh, President Mahama is one of my best friends. All of a sudden, the President Mahama he has been vilifying for God knows how long. He suddenly became his best friend. You see how God can humble people? The Nana Akufo-Addo who thought he was God, he's come down to the earth. And now he's now appealing for the friendship of President Mahama. But he will not be deceived. Ghanaians want accountability. Every one of them will account. From Nana Akufo-Addo to Dr. Bawumia to all the others, they will account for every person that is missing. That is why President Mahama is launching the Operation Recover All the Loot. All the lootings they've done, from money to land to everything, every single one of them will be recovered. Because we cannot play with accountability. The good people of this country have voted for President Mahama to demand accountability from the NPP. And every single one of them, from their appointees to the president to the vice president to all of their appointees, every single one of them will account. And I'm telling you that will be the hallmark, that all those of us in the NDC will make sure that, and I already know President Mahama has that commitment, but we will add the necessary fillip to make sure that is done, because that is what the good people of this country elected us, and that is what they expected us to do. And so we will not shortchange them for one moment. And President Mahama himself has said it. Anybody who comes with some broad shoulders and he wants to flaunt his authority, it's not under his government. Because he's going to exhibit a very humble, down-to-earth government that will respect the wishes of Ghanaians. We are not going to be like the NPP who raise their shoulders in that kind of arrogant posture and look down on the people. It's a government that will work for the supreme interest of the people and listen to the people. We are human beings. You can make a mistake. When you are in government and you make a mistake, be humble enough to admit that mistake. Correct it and go further. But don't pretend that you are a saint. You there, nobody can tell you. You are the repository of all wisdom and knowledge. Nobody knows better than you. And so all the time your shoulders are high. No, that won't happen under President Mahama. To be a government of humility.
Final proverb before we go.
Oh, you know, when the house has collapsed, do you ask whether the roof is still standing? Today the MPP house has collapsed. The roof and everything is down. Today the MPP is like a man who has died in the market. Do you need to announce his funeral again? It's a household information.